is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. I just watched the brand new theatrical release called The Hustle. That's what we're talking about today. I need you guys in the comment section below. Let me know, have you watched this movie? Were you looking forward to it? And did you like it? Let's talk about it. So in The Hustle, Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson star as female scam artists, one low rent and other high class, who team up to take down the men who have wronged them. That summary is actually somewhat inaccurate. Yes, they team up like once or twice throughout the movie for about 5 minutes, but really this movie is about the way that these two characters butt heads, and you have two major stars in Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway, so I was a bit surprised when I just did not see hardly any marketing for this film, the lack of trailers playing before movies. I did see a trailer like once or twice 2 or 3 months ago, but really I've seen nothing for this movie, so that kind of scared me, and the fact that you have this overcooked, overdone premise that we have seen 10,000 times before. It is a premise, and the trailer itself, it looked like a movie that does not belong in 2019. It looks like a film from like 2004. It's one of those really cute rom-coms that, you know, your mom's going to really love, and there were people in my audience, a couple of older women down below cackling and cracking up at certain scenes, and I think this film will have not a cult following, but a following when it comes on DVD or when it starts coming on television. It is one that you can kind of turn your brain off and watch and not pay any mind to, but that's the problem with going and paying $9 for this ticket. I had to actually pay attention to this movie, and because of that, I found so many problems and issues within the storytelling and the filmmaking, and I can now see why this movie was not marketed very heavily, because it is an absolute mess of a film. Now, there is fun to be had, absolutely, because the characters are wacky and zany, and they get themselves in situations that some people can consider funny, and I did chuckle 2 or 3 times. I started to crack up, and then it got unfunny again, and I did not, but the overall story, where this movie goes, is completely and utterly ridiculous, and if you start to think too hard, like I said, certain elements just don't make sense. These two characters, they're just really, what's the word, inconsistent characters. They say one thing at the beginning of the movie, and then 3/4 of the way through they say something completely different, and just a very minor example. Rebel Wilson's character is a scam artist, so there's a scene at the beginning of the movie when she's ordering off the menu, and among all of the different things that she orders, because that's Rebel Wilson's kind of humor, she has to make fun of herself, and she's portrayed that way in almost every movie. She orders 2 salads, and then later on, it's a few scenes later, she says to a person, and it should be completely irrelevant, but it really bothered me, she says, "I'm salad intolerant," but you just ordered 2 salads like 20 minutes ago. That's just a small example. The characters are inconsistent, and the movie is inconsistent. There is a plot point established at the beginning of the film. I thought one of Rebel Wilson's goals was to go and get the bracelet back from Anne Hathaway's character that she steals at the beginning of the movie, because there is a scene on the airplane kind of establishing that she is going to go behind her back and get this. And then once Rebel Wilson gets to Anne Hathaway's big mansion or home, she does something completely different, and the movie goes in a completely different direction. And that plot point that happened at the beginning of the film is completely irrelevant. It's like the movie forgets about certain things that happen, and then it just does this other thing, or goes down this route, or makes a very ridiculous decision. It's supposed to be a twist at the end, and the entire time they're going about revealing this twist, I'm like, did we just waste all of our time? What is the goal? What's the point of The Hustle? The point is most likely to make us laugh, because it is not to give us a good story, because the story is not good. Like I said, it's inconsistent, goes back on things. There are no character arcs. The characters are the exact same characters at the end of the movie than they were at the beginning of the movie. The only difference is that there's another character included in that group of hustlers now. That's it. And all of the stuff that happens along the way, if you get laughs out of it, if you find yourself chuckling and laughing, then that's the reason why they made this movie, because they want to make the audience laugh. Once again, the story, it's irrelevant, it's ridiculous, a lot of it doesn't make sense. I'm like, why are we here? Now why are we here? Why are we doing this? What is the goal of this movie? And I never figured out what the goal was. It's not to make us like the characters, because they're all despicable human beings. It's just to make the audience laugh. And if you're not laughing, like I wasn't laughing, then what's the point of the movie? Hathaway does what Hathaway does. She's sly, she's meticulous, she plays the character that we saw in like Ocean's 8 and kind of Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises. She is that character exactly. And then Rebel Wilson is Rebel Wilson, that's what she does. She always plays the same character. I want to see more range from her. Even in the movie that came out earlier this year, Isn't It Romantic? She was a bit different than what we're normally seeing from her. I wanted that Rebel Wilson. I didn't want the same old standard Rebel Wilson that we get in every single movie. Unfortunately, that's what we got. Not to say they were bad, they just weren't as funny as I think the movie wants them to be. There are montages that skip through what could have been a character arc, and montages that give us training sessions of knife throwing and characters doing these athletic activities that never come back to play in the story. It's like, why did we spend all of this time on this if that never happens, or anything close to that never happens? I mean, I know they're con artists, they're scammers, so they're going to run away from scenes and situations, but what's up with the knife throwing? Like, what's the point? I mean, yes, I seeing it trying to be a gender-swapped version of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. It did not managed to hit those standards, but it tried its best, I guess. Listen, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. There are zany characters and wacky situations, and there is fun to be had. It's just one of those movies that, for me, falls flat, the characters, and once you think too hard about the plot, maybe that's my problem, a lot of it just doesn't make sense, and it gets completely ridiculous. Thankfully, it's a shorter movie. It's only like an hour and 20-something, 30-something minutes, so that's good, and Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson, they're likable. I can't get this movie to anywhere near fresh. I'm gonna go 38% for The Hustle. It hustled its way into my theater. I watched it, and that was the thing. So let me know in the comments section down below. Did you like this movie? Did you not like it? Was it as ridiculous as I'm saying, or did you have a bit of fun with it? Because once again, I think there is some fun to be had. You guys are the absolute best. Stay tuned. More reviews, more Netflix things this weekend. I would love for you guys to comment down below and let me know what you want to see me review. I will catch you guys very soon.